Today we're here interviewing Gerald Sharrock Barrister in Auckland. Gerald, thanks very much for spending the time coming along to meet us.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
I think I've got something to add to this debate because I've been involved in the oil industry on and off since 1978, which means there are not many people who went through the first oil crisis and all the issues associated with it, and have been involved in the last decade a lot in the issues of fuel quality and the environmental issues accordingly. One of the matters that has been of concern to me is the way that the Euro 3, Euro 4 type standards have been used to oversimplify matters, and they have not really addressed some of the key issues that those standards are so detached from motoring reality. And in fact, although it looks on the face of it that New Zealand fuel complies with the Euro 4 standard, it doesn't, because its aromatic level is about 50% higher than that required by the Euro 4 standard, and the aromatic hydrocarbons are the ones that cause poorer burn because they're the bigger and more complex chemical chains, which means you end up with more polyaromatic hydrocarbons in your post-burn exhaust and emissions, and they are one of the great unknowns in terms of health effects and pollution. Even if they did meet the Euro 4 standard, the car would not meet the Euro 4 standard, because in fact the way that vehicles are tested is on a very specific, special kind of fuel which is designed to create very low emissions, which does not exist in the real world. It is a completely artificial way to produce numbers to keep the European Union and the politicians happy. I would suggest that although it would have an initial capital cost, a simple set of emission tests that perhaps any vehicle every 2 years may need to go through, for example, at a specialised emission testing point, and if it doesn't, it then no longer gets a warrant or has to return to that point to get a warrant, because it is if we go back to the Dobber Smoky in campaigns, it was a very small percentage of badly maintained vehicles that were responsible for the vast majority of the emission problems. They're going to increase the cost of motoring to the public, and in fact at the same time increase the level of emissions on our roads. I think it's an attempt to produce a headline shot at doing something in an election year. Right. And it's something that if you look at it superficially, it seems right, but the more you look at it, the more you realise it is a completely erroneous position. It is a most unfortunate time, particularly when we consider that our own domestic motor sales and support industry is already having difficulties restructuring in the world of the internet.
Yes. Thank you very much, Gerald. It's been a great pleasure.
All right.
Really appreciate it.
Good.
Thanks for your time.
Right.
Right, now if there's something you'd like to say to the government, Gerald, what would it be?
Don't do it. Definitely don't do it.